oldest grandchild, she'll be 10 this summer. And she doesn't sleep with her parents anymore at all. But the younger
Oh.
one, the 7-year-old, she'll start off in her own room in her own bed, but by morning she's in bed with mom and dad.
Yeah. My
What do
my
you
son,
think?
yeah, my son told me just give him some more years. He will sleep.
Exactly. Yep. 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 It's soon going to change. I bet you it changes within the next year and a
Yeah.
half. How are you, Bruce?
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, good. Thanks. Yeah.
Good. I wonder if Steve's coming today. He's not usually late. Yeah, says he is. I know Tyler's going to be late. I'm
Uh-huh.
thinking about changing the day that we do this because
Yes.
Tyler typically on Wednesdays has to drop his children off at daycare and he
Oh.
can't drop them off any earlier. And it delays him being able to make this meeting. But on Thursdays, hardly ever does he ever have to take them to the daycare. Every once in a while, but not all the time. So I'm thinking about switching them to Thursdays. Would Thursdays work?
Yeah, I have no problem. Yeah.
Okay.
How about
Bruce,
Bruce?
Okay. Yeah.
Thursday.
would Thursdays be okay for you?
Yeah, yes, yes, it's okay.
Um,
Okay. He said Mondays would work, but I don't function good on Mondays.
Monday. Yeah.
That would not be a fun way to start out the week.
Okay.
Make you guys stay up late.
Okay.
So I figured Thursdays would be a good day. So, um, I have quite a bit on my agenda to talk about today.
Yeah.
But I really wanted Steve to be on. I'm gonna text him a minute and see if he's coming. Hmm. Okay. Let me see if there's something on here I can talk about that doesn't affect him. Oh, thank you for the CPLA cutlery wrapper. That's
Yes.
perfect. Yeah, someone's coming. Ethan, good morning. How are you?
Hey, good morning. I'm good. How about you?
Happy New Year.
You too.
Um, I'm Tyler will be late. He'll probably hop on after you guys are probably off. They'll probably just for our inside conversation. And I'm trying to get Steve to hop on because there's a few things that I want to talk about. Um, I have 4 things on the subject matter for today. The CPLA wrapper material, which Bruce took care of already. And we also already talked about, I might change this meeting to Thursday instead of Wednesday. Are Thursday nights okay for you?
I'm okay.
Okay. I might not do it until we get to the time zone change, but I don't know. I got to figure out how close we are. Actually, we're probably 2 months away from that, so I'll probably still just change it. Um, we could talk about the Bobo straw new order. So I see that you can make them after Chinese New Year and ship at the end of February, but
Yes.
I don't know that I need a new PO for any other items by the end of February to ship by the end of February. So I would like to take a PO that you already have and remove some cases of a different item and put these in there. So you tell me which PO would be best to do that to. And you know that Jay quit. He went back to manufacturing world.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
this job was food service is totally different from what he has done for the last 20 years. And
Uh-huh.
one of his old companies reached out to him and asked him to come back, and they offered him a bunch of money. And the bad thing is he didn't give me much notice. And he apologized for that because the company, they were still negotiating the contract. And it wasn't done before he took a week of vacation, and he took the week off before Christmas. Yeah, and then he came back the Monday before Christmas and told me he would be done, the day on New Year's Eve. So that was only like 7 days notice.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't have a replacement for him yet. And so, happy for him. Found, something with more money and more his style, But I have 2 people that I'm interested in hiring, but I'm having a hard time with the salary part of it. So it's taking me longer to put that together. But Ben is going to not totally come back, but he's going to help Tyler.
Mhm.
Because Ben is the person who created the work structure for Jay's job. So he understands how he created this program that tells us what we need to order and when we need to order. And so he's going to teach that to Tyler, and Tyler's going to try to do both jobs for a couple of weeks until I can get this under control. And of course, we're gonna tag team it. The 2 of us are gonna do whatever it takes to keep our functions going. So some of the emails that you would normally see Tyler answer, you might see me answer. But once we get somebody hired and up and running, it'll go back to Tyler handling all the day-to-day stuff and me handling new items, new projects, and that type.
Mhm.
What else? Well, I guess Steve's not going to come on, which really is not good because I want to talk about stuff that affects QA. I have a big problem. So when we started with the PLA straws, GFS gave us too aggressive of a forecast. And because of the lead time for these items, we get in a situation where we couldn't turn it off quick enough. Once we realized they weren't selling, we couldn't turn it off quick enough because so we started, the orders came in November of 2023, right? And
Yes.
for example, the 10.25 straw itself, GFS gave us a forecast of 90 cases a week. And so Jay ordered, he had 200 coming every other week or every week for November and December and frankly January. And we did pretty good, considering it was a new item. You don't expect it to take off and everyone buy at that full 90 a week right out of the gate. It's going to take some time to get there. So, but we sold 641 of them between the arrival in November and December 26th. So in an 8-week period, we sold 600 of them. So really, I didn't see
Right.
Yeah, that seemed okay, right?
Yeah.
So we didn't say anything. We didn't stop any orders, but maybe that was October, November, and December. Halfway through October, November, and December. In November, we sold 400 of those 600. And in December, we didn't sell very many. And then in January, we only sold about 23. So in January is when we realized we were in trouble and we quit ordering from you. But you had already made, because we have to, in order to ship, to get here, you're already making stuff for February, March, right?
Uh-huh.
So our last receipt was like April 11. which was good. I mean, I don't think we could have stopped it any sooner. So I don't think we did anything wrong. But at today's usage on that item, I got 3 years worth of that product sitting here. We have 2,000 of them, 2,000 cases. So those were all built in January and February at Chania. Shelf life on these straws is 1 year. We're hitting the point where they start to deteriorate. And I don't really know. I don't know if we just wait until customers start complaining that they're brittle and what do you go ahead.
Did you figure out why at the beginning it's selling okay, but now like people
We don't think
stop?
people like it. We don't think people like PLA compostable straws. We think that they like
If they have the option, like definitely they're gonna go with plastic.
no, they're buying like agave and marine biodegradable. There's another one that's something acetate, so cellulose acetate. I have it written down somewhere. Hang on.
Yeah. That's
You know what I mean? And yeah, they're biomarine, compostable, regular compostable, and they're biodegradable. They are all of the above. And we think that that's where the market might be better. We don't know. We just know that these are not selling. And I'm not proud of GFS's launch of these new products. They didn't really do a big whoop-tee-la and educate all the salesmen and send out all the information that they should have. I think maybe because they thought they were already carrying other vendors' PLA straws or compostable straws. And they thought that they could convert those people off of those straws onto the PLA. But they're not leaving. They're still buying the agave and what's the really expensive one? They're blue. Maybe I have them written down in here somewhere. Actually, I don't think I do. Maybe under agave.
Well, the shelf we say 12 months, but it really depends on the environment of the warehouse. So we have some of the client, like they have PLA straws in their warehouse. It's also about to be like expired, and they check the quality. They say, "Oh, it's all right." So they kind of asked us to send them a statement, I think, to say, okay, we can extend the shelf life for another year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so like I haven't seen the quality or like what's the status of the straws in your warehouse. But I think you can ask some QA people to check if they are like still like functional straws. If they can, I think you can extend the shelf life as well. If the environment is kind of dry and cool, the straw can be like qualified for a very long while. If
Can your quality person that did this send some information to Steve Brunsting to help him examine them and make that determination?
Okay. I think the like most direct approach would be uh like just squeeze the straw to see if
If
it
it
will
breaks.
crack or something.
Okay.
So if the warehouse is kind of hot and uh, humid, that's the best environment for the PLA product to be composted. In that kind of environment, I think 1 year is enough. So we like right now we're in Vietnam. It's like kind of the most ideal place for PLA to be composted. We have some samples like laying in our showroom. You can see it like after 2 or 3 years, it kind of crumbles into very small shreds. But in China, in our like Ningbo factory, we have the same thing in a showroom. They are still okay. So, like, really, I guess you have to consider the geographic reason, like to see if the warehouse is kind of cool and dry or it's gonna be hot and humid.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. I think that our Baltimore warehouse is cool and dry.
Mm.
And not humid, but that will help
Yeah.
Steve.
Yeah.
So Bruce,
Mm,
in November, we paid you guys to get rid of some stuff that you had in storage for us.
yes.
Did you get paid and that all went and that happened okay?
Uh,
I'm pretty sure it did, but that just reminded me when Ethan was talking about having stuff in storage because wasn't it PLA straws?
yeah, yes, yes.
I don't remember what it was.
Oh, yeah, yeah, we did get a payment. We have, I have asked our production department, asked our warehouse to get rid of them, but I'm not sure. But I'm not sure. But I'm not sure if they checked the quality.
It's okay. We
Yeah.
don't want them.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, especially because they're old. I think you built them like last probably February, March. So just
Yeah. Very, very long. So it's a long time.
I don't see us continuing with PLA straws. Although we're going to buy more of the Bobo straws, right?
Yes.
But if we switch to cellulose acetate type straw, all five of the PLA straws will change to that as well. If you guys were going to get into that life, I would 100% leave it with you guys. And
Yeah. Can maybe get you some samples based
oh,
on
you are
some.
doing it?
Yeah, we have certification BPI. It's not called cellulose acetate. It's a brand we call it Avantastro from Eastman. They branded the material as Avanta.
Can you spell that?
AVNTA. But basically, cellulose acetate.
Okay. So is it marine biodegradable as well? Because our people in Florida are really pushing for that marine. I mean, everybody's on a lake, everybody's near the ocean, and they're really pushing for that.
Let me see. They say there is marine component.
You know what, just send me something on it that just that talks about it, that and then yeah, send some samples and let me know what your BPI certification is on it. And of course, we'd have to get it certified in our brand and all that crap again, but
We got the certification for the clear one. Working on the certification for the red ones. Probably we're gonna have to get a.
okay. You know what?
Really?
And I think that our team is also finding out that people are not excited to drink from a green straw, so the clear might be more advantageous.
Mhm. Yeah, you don't see that many green straw. Like it's always red or
Clear.
clear or white.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. Right.
Are you thinking about doing them in white as well?
Mm, I think we can.
I'm not saying we need them. I just wondered if that was something you were already doing. It's okay.
Yeah, it's just adding some colorant into the material. Like color is easy, but certification, like each new color, we have to go through the certificating process.
Yep, I get it. We'll try to avoid that. Um, yeah, that would be good. So anything that you can send Steve to help him de determine if our stock is safe to have for another year would be great.
Okay.
And then so that's on the straws. I also think that the shelf life for the CPLA is only 1 year also, right?
Yeah,
The
but
cutlery.
for cutlery would be slightly better. They are thicker than straws.
Yeah. And I'm not overstocked. I think we're doing well on the CPLA cutlery.
Mhm.
I need to double check that, but no one has been complaining to me about us being overstocked on them. So I'm hoping that we're not overstocked. I don't think that our product is old. You know, I think we're within a good
Yes.
window on those.
Yes.
But I want to be conscious of it and make sure that we don't ever get ourselves in a situation of being overstocked on those. So, how do you determine if you're getting near the end of the life? Is that what they do is crack as well? And
Yeah, like it's gonna be more brittle, easier to break comparing to like fresh made ones. Like fresh made ones, they can still break. It's gonna be easy, much more easier to break.
okay.
Yeah, I guess it's to like try it on a steak to see.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you can like. Uh, I think that would be better. Like try it, like to see the head of the fork will be break or anything.
Okay.
Like even the fresh ones, like they can like uh break, but they
Not as quickly.
yeah. I think it's still like okay to eat meat or something. After a while, it's gonna be too brittle to use it.
Okay.
Maybe
You bopped out. I couldn't hear what you said. How long?
I guess 2 year it's all right for CPLA cutlery. Also, the same thing depends on the temperature and humidity.
Okay. All right, that helps me with that stuff. Yeah, and I think that's all I had on my end. So you join at the very end of our discussion.
Well, I got nothing to add anyways.
Well, our conversation today is all around the shelf life on PLA and CPLA. And, two, we have 3 years worth of PLA straws in storage that are over a year old already.
Mm-hmm.
So we were discussing how do you determine, what's left, what life is left on those straws. And Ethan was explaining it to us. It has to do with temperature and humidity of where it's being stored. And they just went through a check on some product that they had that was a year old in their warehouse. And the QA folks did an analysis on them, and they feel they have another year left on them. And I've asked Ethan to put something together to give to you to help determine that, but it sounds like basically they squeeze them, and if they are brittle and crack quickly, that's the issue. And then for the CPLA cutlery, I don't have old product, and it's not a problem, but we talked about it, and I wanted to understand it just in case we ever do get there. And they're probably safer at 2 years. And again, it has to do with humidity and a way to check them to see if they're not in a good shape is if they break quicker than a fresh one. A fresh one will still break, but
Right.
not as quickly.
You know how GFS has the straws set up in their system for rotation code or not?
I don't really.
You have one of the numbers handy?
I can. I know that we have 365 on them, if that helps.
Yeah, but if they're tracking it as a receive date, then then they don't know how old they are when they get them, and we can just roll with it.
Yeah, I just soon wait until someone complains. I think that's going to be our only option.
Yeah.
All right, item code 422009.
Yeah, so their rotation code, that actually has a 730 shelf life in their system, and its rotation of receive date. So they don't start counting till they receive it.
So they're never going to complain to us about it.
Nope. They're never going to complain about the date. Then it's just going to be when we start getting quality complaints.
Yeah. Once we start getting customer complaints, we'll have to pull them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I'm comfortable with that. We can roll with it.
Okay.
Don't buy so much next time.
You missed that whole explanation as to how we ended up with so many. But
I know it was Ben's fault, or
no, it wasn't anyone's fault. It was just when Category gave us the forecast, they overshot the moon.
yeah, they thought they were going to sell more than they did.
Right. And by the time we figured out they aren't, you're too far into the pipeline. I mean, we only bought these straws from Chengya for the month of, the first receipt was October 16 and the last receipt was April 11.
Yeah.
So just that short period of time. And you need 3 months of trying to sell them to see where they're going. And by the time you say, oh shit, they're not selling, you've already got the next 12 weeks set up with Chania. I mean, they got to
Yeah.
produce them in order to get them to us in with this
Yeah.
ocean. So we did nothing wrong between either GFS or us, but I have $136,000 worth of inventory sitting in Baltimore of one straw.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 10.25. And it's 3 years worth of inventory.
Right. Unless
So,
they grow their sales, they need to do that.
yes, and I know they are trying. Marcia, I forget her last name, but you know who I mean, Marcia, whatever her name
Yep.
is. She actually has signed on 2 new customers. Volume's low, but at least it's 2 more people. Might be
Yeah.
40 more cases a month, but every little bit helps.
Yeah.
And we need a lot of people trying to do that.
The problem is if they do start to get brittle and you get new customers, then you're going to lose them because the
Mhm.
quality is going to be a problem. So we need to stay on top of it. But
Yeah.
I mean, I do feel they're stored well. Baltimore is it's a dry environment. It's, the temperature's not crazy. It doesn't ever get crazy hot there and it's not crazy cold. So I feel like we're in a best case scenario as far as storage is concerned.
Good. Good. So with Crane, do you have any information on Crane's storage?
No, I know they're like Cleveland and Cincinnati. They're in Ohio, but I don't know exactly where they are.
I got to believe the humidity is even lower there
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
Baltimore is right on the ocean.
Yeah.
So that might be even a better storage type situation. So it's good.
Depending on where they're at, if they're in Cincinnati, I'm going to spend the month of July in that area this year, and so then maybe I'll go try to see them.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Good morning, Tyler.
Good morning, everyone.
All right, so I've gotten through all of my questions for Chenya. Bruce and Ethan, do you guys have any questions for us?
Yes, I have a question about the orders. I just checked our order schedule today, and I see that we haven't got any orders more than a month. But usually, yeah, we can get orders about 3 or 4 times every month.
Right. Okay, here's what happened. What we always, and this will happen every year, is, and a little bit worse this year for 2 reasons. But what we've learned is with Chinese New Year
Yes.
and with ocean freight, we need to bring in all the product that we need to get us through March, typically, before Chinese New Year. And so we ordered heavy, right? And you've been shipping a lot. And that's in order for us to get through that time period. The 2 things that are different this year that we had to even do it more so is the potential of the American ports are going to shut down from Houston all the way around the East Coast up to New York. They're going to go on strike on January 16, and we don't know how long it'll last. Typical strikes last 3 to 5 days. The worst strike ever lasted for 10 days. And even though that doesn't sound like a long time, all of those ships are stacking up outside the port. And when you have 10 days worth of ships to unload, it takes weeks to take care of that. So we even ordered a little heavier because of that. Now midstream, we brought on the new warehouse crane, and we changed all of those POs to route through California, but we had already cut the PO, so we just let it go. And I still would have said to cut more because of that, because California's ports they don't have a really good system for taking the container off the ship and putting it on the rail cars. There's not enough equipment to do it quickly and do it well. And I worried that everyone in anticipation of the port closure was going to switch everything to California. California's going to be overloaded this month, the month of January, and it could really slow down those products coming in. The second problem with railing them to Cleveland is there's no direct train. The train will have to go to Chicago. The container comes off and goes on a different train that goes to Cleveland. There are a couple other cities that it could go to Atlanta and then go up as well. And we don't really know, at least we didn't know at the time, how well that was gonna go. We've gotten a couple of them through and they're doing pretty well. They're actually landing in Cleveland almost a week earlier than if we went all the way through the Panama Canal and came up to Baltimore. So, we placed a lot of orders to get us through an extra long time. And that is why you're seeing a delay in orders. And I know that's not great for your manufacturing floor because, you probably have people with not a lot of work to do, but Tyler and Ben are sitting down this week and they're taking a look at where we're at because without Jay, we're not exactly sure, where we're at. And they will put together some more orders, I'm sure, because things change. And they can also put together a forecast that will help you know when production will pick up again. That help?
Okay, I see. I'm afraid that maybe some orders are missed. Yeah, but I think it's okay. I will wait for Tyler's news.
What do you mean you think that you think that you're missing?
I think, I thought maybe a few orders were missed and you didn't place any orders to us. Maybe forgot to place some orders.
No, I hope not, but Tyler's gonna
Well,
figure it out.
Yeah, so Bruce, I'll be sending you an email today on what orders we have out there that don't have a container number or anything, and we can work through that. So I do have that list ready to go for you. But like Lisa said, Ben and I will be placing more orders this week and getting us back on track. But yeah, you might see lighter orders, through the month of February, and then March we expect that to pick up. So
Okay, I see. Okay, I wait for your email. Okay.
thank you.
Any other questions from Chenya?
No.
No, that's all.
Okay.
Well, we'll let you continue the meeting. See you next time.
Say that again?
We'll let you continue the meeting. See you next time.
Sounds good. Tyler, do you have anything
Okay.
for them before we let them go?
No, just what I already mentioned, that I'll be sending you both a list, and we'll just make sure that, if there are orders that were missed, that we get those going and get the containers all set and everything. So I'll get that to you today.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Ethan, if I don't talk to you before then, have a great, happy Chinese New Year.
Thank you.
And Bruce, I'll talk to you before you go.
Okay,
All right. Take care, everyone.
thank you.
Bye.
Bye.